Radical.
Welcome to Radical Rapid Fire Comment Response for September 13th through September 19th, 2021. Short comments, quick replies. Patrice Bryant. Laugh out loud, yeah, I can't stand those things. They don't make a lot of juice. And I hate cleaning them too. Haha. Yeah, a juicer, you would think. When you hear juicer, you're thinking, I'm getting all this delicious fresh juice. You see the commercials, you see all this juice come out, and you get excited. You know, they always make it seem like it's a ton of juice on the commercials. You know, in the commercials, they don't show the reality of you cleaning the juicers. Unless it's like a self-cleaning juicer, which is, you know, the kind I should have went with. But, yeah, I don't know. It just seems like it's not going to be the thing that I'm really going to have a lot of time to really invest in that hobby. Because it's a commitment. Getting that juice. And one time, I drank juice from one thing, and then it seems to kind of like not really mesh with my stomach that well. Maybe it's because I didn't drain out the pulp. But when you get the juice out, and then you get the strainer, there's hardly anything that actually from your efforts. So yeah, juicing to me just right now currently seems like a huge waste of time. Red Strass 97. Have you watched The Big Show on Netflix yet? What do you think? I have not, so I don't have any thoughts on it. Is it like a sitcom? I don't know. Is it like a documentary where they follow him around? Or they follow him around during his WWE days? You know, or is it like a sitcom? That'd be hilarious. Could you imagine? Maybe let's say Big Show has a daughter on a sitcom, and then the guy comes up to take her out on the first date. You know, could you imagine? That would be a really funny scene right there. Really, really funny scene. Yep, you make her mad, and he choke slams you through a table. Mr. Monster. What a maneuver! Yeah, it's pretty funny. I forget about that meme, and I forget which wrestling announcer it was supposed to be for. But whenever you don't know what a move is called, generally you say what a maneuver, and it's just kind of like an easy out when you're just like, oh shit, I forgot the name of the move. So you're like, man, that finisher, what a maneuver! And happy to see you there, Mr. Monster. Hope you're doing well. Charlie B. I told him last year that people enjoy learning about which games are valuable, but you should make a video about games you like and show off games you like. He came at me like an egomaniac saying he didn't need any tips for videos. All I do is buy and sell games. We're talking about Phoenix Resale. And yeah, it does seem like that he just comes off as, well, I don't know why he has such a big ego, because self-admittedly, really, on his channel, all he does is buy and sell games. What an easy channel to put together. There's a lot of copycat channels. I mean, what's interesting about him? You know, the fact that he's a weasel, the fact that he has a Winnie the Pooh t-shirt, a full-grown man walking outside of his house with a Winnie the Pooh t-shirt. I don't know. I mean, like, I don't get this guy. Why, if he has an ego, why should he have an ego? Plus, like I said, he's kind of a scummy weasel also, him and the people that he hangs around with. Gunnar Gallard, 420. If it were my booth and you kept begging me for a discount, I'd tell you to get the fuck out. Exactly. Like the patience these people had. Maybe because they were being filmed, they didn't want to make it. And that's one thing I forgot. He's filming all this. So maybe the times that he didn't film it, you know, unless he filmed it all, I'm willing to bet that some people actually just told him to get the fuck out. Maybe he didn't include that in the video. I don't know. Because it just seems like there's a lot of nice people there. A lot of nice people there. Maybe overcharging for some of the games. Sure, right? Because we can't just say that, you know, he's the only weasel here. I'm sure there's a lot of weasels there that are overcharging for sealed games. But yeah, if it was you there selling anything, and regardless of video games, whether it's comics, whether it's cards, anything, if somebody comes by your booth and keeps begging you, just simply tell them to get the fuck out. Or, you know, when they ask for something, go ahead and raise the price. Be like, because, you know, you're a bitch. I'm going to raise the price on you. Bruce the Man. Send your PlayStation Classic Mini to WADA for grading. And shortly thereafter, the PS Classic is all of a sudden highly sought after and now worth hundreds of dollars or in the thousands. Yeah, that's the plan, man, because, you know, I got this PlayStation Classic, and I really don't want it. I'm really not going to mod it. So the only thing I can do a la Metal Jesus, is go ahead and take this thing and make a feature on it because I have this and I wanna up the value of it. And then I'm gonna sell it. That's how things work, man. That's how it works. Dumez, I didn't realize Wata charges more if the game is worth more. They charge a percentage of the worth for the current market value. What a scam, not just a fee for service, which I think is what it should be. Yeah, just imagine that. Like, imagine going to a mechanic, and because you have a different car, a car that's worth more money, not a car that's more difficult to work on, mind you, because there are some cars that are more difficult to work on, granted. They have more different systems in the car that make it difficult to actually just even, change the brakes on some vehicles. But let's say you have a Lexus and it is the same as like the Camry, for instance. Same job you're doing, but you say to the customer, "Oh, that car is worth more, so I'm going to charge you more." That's screwed up. So I think it's screwed up that Wata charges more for the value of the game being higher, and I just don't understand it. It's a simple grading process. So that's a scam right there. That alone is a scam. You're right, Dumas. Hennig57. Anyone who buys video games just to collect them and not play them has serious mental issues to begin with. Ooh, that's a loaded comment right there. It's a loaded comment. I'm sure there's a lot of people that's going to chime in talking about how they do not have a mental condition, how they don't have mental issues. People are going to chime in talking about how they have 15 sealed copies of one video game because they think, well, they're going to retire on it, because they're investors. They're going to tell you they don't have any mental problems. People that have their entire house devoted to video games, those people, of course, are going to say they have no mental problems. But let me ask you this. A lot of times when people have mental problems, are they self-aware of these mental problems? Anyway, this is a loaded comment. Going to make a lot of people mad. Sorry, I got the sniffles a bit this morning. What did I drink? What did I drink the last of? You'll find out a little later. Rune Mamba. Green Bay isn't going anywhere anytime soon, but time will tell, and I wouldn't be surprised if he retires soon. What a difference a week makes. Aaron Rodgers came out there throwing some beautiful passes, laying it right in the arms. This is a 50-yard pass that was beautiful. It seems like he literally just cared more. Sometimes people just don't care. I think he came out week one just really not caring that much. Maybe sending a message that, hey, you know what? I can come here and just not care. And then the next week he can come back and play great. But we will see about the Green Bay Packers. We'll see if they go anywhere this season. Red Stripes 97. In most first-person shooter games I've played, the shotgun has always been fairly strong, and I've been decent with it. I tend to go for it often while everyone else is trying to go for the rocket launcher. I like the rocket launcher, but its demand in most games makes you a target while you have it or while you're trying to get it. Yeah, it's the case with many weapons in a lot of these first-person shooter games. Sometimes it's smart to kind of just, not be the center of attention in a shooter game. Just to kind of hang out at the corners, hang out at the sides, and maybe have a close combat weapon like a shotgun. Sometimes those people actually will wind up winning. The strategy, that's a great strategy. Now, going for the rocket launcher, like it's a big time weapon, and I'm not saying that you can actually just completely destroy when you get the rocket launcher in any weapon, but you have a point there. Now, when it comes to dating, there's a lot of guys that try to go for the prettiest girl, and a lot of these guys are fighting over the prettiest girl, okay? Unrelated, but I'm just saying, a lot of guys are fighting for the prettiest girl, or the girl that is trying to get the most attention. But there's a lot of females out there that are, just as pretty, but maybe they look a little nerdy or they're wearing glasses. Think about She's All That movie. It's pretty simple. You can sometimes basically just get the same thing you want, but, with less attention. Okay? I would weave that together a little better, but, Radical Rapid Fire. P. Ferreria. Norm has released videos a bit more frequently recently, but it's still not to the extent every other YouTuber historian who doesn't get the credit he does puts out. He seems to be quite versed in Nintendo history. Actual gaming history? Not really. Yeah, mostly it's Nintendo type videos. So his title is incorrect because 90% of the time he's talking about Nintendo history, you know? But to be a true gaming historian, a gaming historian? And he's got the little icons in the book and all that fancy music, you know? He's kind of a fraud in the sense that he is not really encompassing. I mean, how could you? He uploads a few times a year. How could you actually be a gaming historian with the upload rate, with the fact he mostly just talks about Nintendo? And he gets paid handsomely by his own audience to do a lot more than he's actually doing. Yeah. Tron Razorblade. Rest in peace, Norm Macdonald, 1959 to 2021. It's very sad to see him pass away. Most people didn't even know. I think he kept it to himself that he had cancer, you know. But I remember many, many funny bits from Norm Macdonald through the years. In fact, there's a channel, a YouTube channel, basically devoted, you know, to showing a lot of his old stuff. He was really funny on SNL. And SNL was funny at one point. This is might be shocking to a lot of you, but SNL actually was funny. And you know, there's this bit that Bill Burr had a remembrance talking about him. I think it was Bill Burr, and he talked about how he had a lot of O.J. Simpson jokes, and he used to run the weekend shows, Weekend Update. And they approached him and they said hey, you know, you can't do a lot of OJ jokes because OJ was a friend to somebody on the show. Well, he doubled down and he did twice as many OJ jokes. So of course, you know, that can't happen. They were funny. He was funny, but he got fired. So he was promoting a movie a year later and he came back and he's like, yeah, apparently I wasn't funny enough to be on the show, but now the show apparently is not funny because, you know, I'm on the show now. So it's either the show's no longer funny or I'm somehow a lot funnier. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. They fire the guy, then they actually have him back on the show a year later. Rune Mamba. Rick, Jobst himself is an e-beggar. I don't know why you expect any different. He doesn't think anything is wrong with the scam donations because he himself collects donations. Even though MGR/Hancock asks for donations under false pretenses, it's probably all the same to Carl. Well, Rune Mamba, that is a good point there. And I tell you what, this comment might actually lead into an upload, a future project I'm working on. You know, Jobst had his project for exposing Wada, so I might be working on a similar type project for the future exposing of Jobst. Possibly. Jason Voorhees. Phoenix Resale is a scummy reseller, and he rips people for his own gains. He says he plays games and collects them, but that is all a lie. I will not be paying hundreds of dollars for a common trashy sealed game. Who says the game is actually factory sealed and not resealed by the people themselves to get a premium price? Yeah, that's one question that I have about, you know, sealing, resealing, how you actually could tell if it was a seal or reseal. Now, when it comes to comic books, probably a little easier to detect if a comic book that was polybagged, you know, has been re-polybagged. But when it comes to a game with a certain method of sealing, you know, if you can figure out that exact sealing method that maybe Nintendo uses, if you can find out that exact method, I wonder how close a reseal could actually get to looking legitimate. I'm just curious. Razor Ramon. Actually, they start off a wrestler with a serious gimmick and then turn them into goofs. This time around, they're doing it backwards. Matt Riddle can definitely go in the ring, though. I wonder, how you could turn things around. Maybe you could have him snap, possibly. Maybe have him snap. Or I guess you don't want to expose the business and have him come out. Well, I mean, the business has been exposed, but, you know, have him come out and say, WIB, maybe have a mic drop moment. I hate this fucking gimmick. I hate this gimmick you rattle me with. I come out on a children's toy. Wait, I'm a serious man. Look at me. Look at how big and muscular I am. I can destroy half your, I don't know. I don't know what you do with Matt Riddle, but this is stupid. Coming out as a Riri, that is just stupid. But you say he can go in the ring. I can't pay attention to that. I'm not. Because they obviously he's a goof. So why should I even pay attention? And then try to push a goof, Lassie Kinuan, 81. Well, the cult parallel is the usual give me all your money part. It's more akin to a televangelist cult in that there's not much control or interaction even with the family. Yeah, like giving the money, sending the money up, and not a whole lot of interaction. When you look at Camelot and the fact that he gets all this money on these live streams, like he's not preaching, right? But still, they're giving a lot of money to him, and he's telling them, tell him that he loves them and everything. So yes, the love plays a factor. I love all my family and the family a lot. I especially love it when you give me money for my NASCARs. But here's the thing. Why did I cut this comment 2 times? It's kind of weird. I forgot what the thing was. Well, there's many things in the future. But yeah, the thing is, like I said, it can seem cultish at times when you have lots of money being donated to somebody, and there's really not that much of a reason. I don't think there's a reason to donate several $1,000s to Camelot 331. But yes, I'm the jealous hater. Just because I say I don't think there's a reason for donating thousands of dollars to a guy to take his shirt off online. Yeah, apparently something's wrong with me, I suppose. Rufus. It's also been remade for a modern audience, and they've hired an ex-Mary Sue journalist who actively says she doesn't like it? Uh-oh. That's a red alert right there. So they hired somebody that says they don't like KOTOR. Like, what do you mean by don't like? Like, how could you not like the original KOTOR? It was a really, really good game. How could you not like that? Is it somebody that wants to change things around? Made for a modern audience? Ooh, I may not want anything to do with this from the way that sounds, Rufus. Terry W. Haha, squeeze the day. A juicer pun, man. I like that. I live for these Terry W. weekly puns. Rune Mamba. No more V8. Speaking of juice. Is there any left here? Well, that's it. I think that might be the last V8 Splash diet I ever drink. Not because I don't want to drink more, but because as you see right here on the logo for this, I'm a bit parched. I could use more V8 juice. Apparently, you can no longer get this juice. You can no longer get it. It's out of stock at Walmart. It's out of stock at a lot of places online. And I can recall the final moments where I was going to order about 20 like I did last time. Remember when I opened a box and I went crazy because I ordered a lot of V8s? And I took them off because I thought I'd order them later. And I tried to add them back on. And only one went back on. I literally, I think, ordered the last Diet V8 Splash online from Walmart. The one I'm holding right now might be the last one, unless they restock. They have one on eBay for $17.99. Yeah, the scalping's just not video games, man. It's Diet V8 Splash. So, talking about scumbag scalpers. Charging $18, for a $2 thing of V8 Splash. Some people would see no problem with that. But I would say that's pretty fucking scummy,